Hey, good morning. Whacky Wednesday here. How wacky is it? Well, I know the sun went down last night because I drove home in the dark and went to bed in the dark, but I got up this morning in the dark and I had to check my calendar on what day it was. So I left again in the dark. So, we've got all this energy flipping up and down, and it's hard to tell where we are on the timelines, where we are on a linear calendar. So we have to double check ourselves. Now, let's talk about being of service and when we're busy being of service. Now, everybody who has a job is of service. You're of service to the company in which you work for. You're a contributor of the success of that company. Some people may interpret it, I'm a slave to the job. Listen, you participated in taking the job, because whether the job is to, pay your bills, whether the job was to enhance something that you've learned, maybe put it to work for some good, and then you find out it's not so great. But either way, your particular position, no matter what that position is within that job, contributes to the overall success of that particular business in which you work for. So the way I interpret that myself is you are being of service. Because guess what? When a lot of you call out sick, the success of the service for that day is diminished. It's diminished. Every person is counted on in the job slot for the day. Okay? So, flip it around that your job is to be of service, no matter what that job is. It's not just nursing and healthcare and hospice and all these other people that are doing different types of service. Theirs is also a job. And they also have to fall into their job slot in order to make the day successful. So every job is being of service. So my point of all that is, when you are out here being of service for the day, whether it's service of homemaker, service of partnership, service of the job, service of self, service of your car, service of the, purchasing things from the grocery store, whatever it may be, because it comes home and it's service to the house. Okay, because everything you go out with, you're bringing back in. And you all know this is true in your steps of life, and it's also metaphors for many, many, many things. So anywho, when we are out here being of service, we are still sometimes toddling for more information of what's going on out there in the world, or we're so busy that sometimes the exterior world and what's going on that's running the world might seem a little bit distant to our current affairs of the steps that we take in our daily routine and grind. But there are some people who are out there and they're in this job of being of service, but they're all out there trying to get information. So what Spirit was saying this morning was, solar flash, energy is coming, solar flash, warning, Will Robinson. So everybody's looking for something coming. We've got this eclipse, we've got, Orthodox and Christian religious belief system coming up. We've got all kinds of things going on planetarily, politically, religiously, financially. Oh, we're going to have this crash. We're going to have this crash. We're going to have this crash. Oh, you should be buying this coin and that coin and get this and get that because you're not going to survive. Here's my thought. The Spirit was saying, how conditioned, fine-tuned are you if there is a flash? How conditioned and fine-tuned are you if there was a financial upset? What if there was an upset in some other avenue of what's going on in the daily universal stuff that runs the globe? How conditioned are you? What is your strength, endurance, and stamina? What is that like? Are you in a weakened state? There are people freaking out about a financial collapse. And oh my gosh, if you look back in all of the history, it has happened over and over again, sometimes mini hiccups, sometimes larger hiccups. And guess what? People live through it. they survive. And some people forward thought and began to prepare to the best of their ability. That doesn't mean be a squirrel and you're out there just nut collecting. So gimme. I got mine. I'm not worried about yours. I got mine. I'm going to take care of me and mine. It's not about that. And then if we're getting this big solar flash that everyone's talking about in so many different ways for so many different years, what is your physical, mental, emotional stabilization if a flash was to come across? Are you in state of fittest? Are you? Do you have your nervous system in a place of more calm so that it is strengthening all the other places that messages have to go, which affect your digestion, which affect your sleep, which affect your heart, which affect your blood flow, which affect your lymph, which affect your kidneys, which affect your reproductive systems. You wonder why we have less and less natural pregnancies occurring because of stress. And the stress is coming from chemicals. Stress is coming from so many different avenues, and that's a whole other topic Spirit's saying. My point is, are you conditioning yourself so that you can be the best that you can be in each day that you are of service? Each day that you are of service. Are you starting to post out your boundaries around yourself and saying, you know what, I'm not going to collect all that information. Look, the sun's coming up. I'm not going to collect all that information. I'm not going to collect all that and wreak havoc upon my system. Because all you're doing is taking this brain that's encapsulated in this skull and you're cramming more and more and more unnecessary information into it that your body cannot process, so it starts to store it. So now we've got this huge backup of sludge of information it doesn't need to have in it. So you've got to work on these boundaries. If that's not information that I need to collect today, and you know what? Until you learn how to pass the information through the body, you need to pick and choose what it is that you're collecting. Because just like your kitchen, if you're going to the store every single day and you're collecting, and you're running out of cupboard space and you're putting it all over the counters and you're finding places in closets, places in the basement, putting in things in other areas because you're collecting all this stuff, that's what you're doing to your brain. And then so many things expire, but you still hold on to it because you think you can find a use for it. And that is some of the things that we are collecting. And we are wreaking havoc upon our person. So the message this morning is every single job is of service. Every single thing you do, think of it as being of service. No matter what that job is, look at what it is that you do that is linked to the counterparts of the people that you work with that are then linked to the other components of that particular business. No matter what that job is. No matter what that job is. It is being of service. So change the way you're looking at things. If the job that you're doing is not fulfilling you, stop, drop, sit, connect with that breath, become aware, let your nervous system, let your spinal cord, let all of the zones within your body do their best to calibrate so that you can make decisions that are best for you. Because most of us have an albatross that we're carrying. Family, children, people that depend upon our paycheck. Even our landlord or the mortgage company is depending on us making the money to make the payments to them. So you're still being of service. It flows up and down, my friends, no matter where you are on the work line. It flows up and down. All right? Secondly, Pick and choose what it is that you're listening to. Does this empower me? How do I feel when I listen to this? Does it make me feel like I think I'm stronger? Does it give me merit and credit to the empowerment of what I already have? So is it a collection of more empowerment? Or is this like I'm tasering myself and every nerve ending is just getting fried? And I'm starting to, if I was to write it all down, to see the mini and the massive havoc that it's taking on my person. And am I adding to my emotional body, swelling it up where it's ready to implode? My mental body is ready to implode. My physical body is feeling the effects. And I'm not even going to talk to you about the etheric body, which is a whole different ball game. Because if you learned how to work with your communication systems, your different sensories, you would see that it starts there before it ever penetrates and starts to give you a little pokey physically, mentally, and emotionally that, hey, something needs your attention. So anywho, I got a very long day today, busy week, being of service, even drop sitting and doing these videos while I'm driving. I'm doing my best to be of service, to point out to each and every one of you that are listening that you are of service as well, and that I love you. And if you want to start getting your person, thyself, in a little bit better of in tuned shape, toning it up, conditioning it so that it is the strongest it can be, no matter what wind, what flash, what anything comes your way, maybe an extra pile on your desk, whatever it may be, that you are the strongest that you can possibly be. Hit me up for session. Let's get in here and just do advanced Reiki zone technique therapy. Let's start aligning your systems, which include every cell of the body, and start empowering you to feel, look, see, and sense your own inner strength. Yes. And so whatever cold viruses are coming along, or a little lack of sleep, you can make it up, because your body is a spiritual athlete, and it's doing what it needs to do, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, to stay as strong as it can possibly be. All right, enough for me. Please like, subscribe, and share. See you guys on the next video. So much love, because you're walking, living, breathing columns of loving light, my friends. See you guys soon. Don't forget to comment. Bye.